cautious, not corporate. KBLA Talk 1580 showed up, and we haven't shut up since. 5 years of standing with workers, with communities, and with the truth. Happy 5th anniversary to every listener who made this possible. This is your station, KBLA Talk 1580, Progressive Talk, Los Angeles, loud.
Happy anniversary!
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Is your family dysfunctional? Here are 7 signs from a licensed therapist. Number 1, the scapegoat. Every family has problems, but in dysfunctional families, one person takes all the blame whether or not it's actually their fault. They're the easiest target, the one who's constantly criticized, dismissed, or punished. If something goes wrong, it's their fault. Someone else makes a mistake, they take the heat. Over time, the scapegoat starts to believe it. They internalize the idea that they are the problem, even when they're not. Number 2, constant criticism. Some parents think nitpicking and put-downs will toughen up their kids, but when the negativity never stops, it's exhausting. Every mistake is magnified. Every effort is overlooked. Family members end up walking on eggshells, terrified of messing up, because in the household, there's no praise, only judgment. Number 3, parentification. This happens when a child is expected to take care of their parents' emotional needs instead of the other way around. A parent might say, "You should make me happy," or "If you love me, you'd spend time with me." Kids who grow up like this become hyper-aware of others' emotions, constantly anticipating their moods. Yes, they're empathetic, but it's draining. Number 4, favoritism. Parents may deny having a favorite, but when one child gets more praise, more affection, and more privileges, the impact is clear. The favorite may develop a superiority complex while the other child struggles with resentment and low self-esteem. It damages sibling relationships and creates lasting emotional wounds. Number 5, triangulation. This happens when family members use a third person to deliver messages instead of communicating directly. It's especially harmful when parents use a child to speak to the other parent. This shifts the anxiety onto the child and teaches them to avoid direct.
Who was that, Andy? I was listening to him. He said his name at the beginning. I just forgot. I'm old. Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR has returned to the scene of the conversation. It's about to go down in the town. Toxic collectivism within the family. It's us against the world, no matter how toxic we are. How does that affect your intimate relationships, your adult relationships? A deeper look at how toxic family unity can contaminate your intimate relationships. If so, how? I want to know. 1-800-920-1580. Do we have any examples of how a toxic family? What's a good example? I see Andy over there thinking. 1-800-920-1580. You said the Ball family, LeVar Ball, LaMelo. You think they toxic? Keisha Cole's family. Listen, who do we model that first environment? As children, we modeled the first environment. Whatever, and this is not, again, pathologizing or, criminalizing who raised you. But whatever they didn't work on becomes a part of who we are. That's the best example to me, the Jacksons. Toxic collectivism. Oh, you think you better than us? You got that hit album, huh? You think you better than your brothers? You think you better than your mother and me? I only seen the movie one time. I know. Come on. Hey, D. Marie said the Trumps. Come on. Listen, Mike. We all was in that little tiny house in Gary, Indiana. You blow up, you got to take your family with you, boy. You don't know nothing about family, do you? Mike said, wait, hold on. I'm in an individualistic society. I would like to have my own individual expression. I tell you what to think. You thinking, boy? Tonight's topic, did you come from a family like that, and has it adversely affected your intimate relationships? Toxic collectivism within the family, a deeper look at how toxic family unity contaminates intimate relationships. Heavy stuff. Not every family organizes itself around love. Some families organize themselves around survival. The distinction appears small until someone attempts to become themselves. Have you tried to become yourself and your family push back? 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to hear from you. I want to know your thoughts, right? A family may begin as a biological unit, but over time it evolves into something far more powerful, a psychological ecosystem. Within that ecosystem, every fear, sacrifice, humiliation, triumph, wound, adaptation, and unresolved grief leaves a residue. Decades pass, generations pass. The original conditions disappear, yet the adaptations remain. What once functioned as protection gradually becomes tradition. Tradition becomes expectation. Expectation becomes identity. Internal family systems suggest that beneath every personality exists a constellation of parts organized around protection. Families possess a similar architecture. You got protective roles, right? Protective roles emerge not from anyone consciously choosing them, but because the system unconsciously requires them. The caretaker stabilizes anxiety. The achiever manufactures worth. The peacemaker suppresses tension. Who are these players in your relationships, in your family? The black sheep. I want to hear from the black sheeps tonight. I want to hear from the achievers tonight. The family achievers, the one that balances it all out. Okay, I'll cover it. The caretaker. I want to hear from the family caretaker tonight. I definitely want to hear from the black sheep tonight. I want to hear from the peacemaker tonight in your family. 1-800-920-1580. The strong one carries burdens that never belong to them. Give it to me, I got you. Don't worry about it. Just give it to me, I got you. Over time, the role becomes so rehearsed that both the individual and the family forget a distinction of immense importance. The role is not the person. It's kind of like when I talk about Alfred Korzybski. I love Alfred Korzybski's work. One of his famous quotes, the definition creates the condition. The map is not the territory. Again, you can apply that same concept here. The role is not the person. But in IFS systems, the role is protecting the person. 1-800-920-1580. I want to know. I want to know. Are you a part of a toxic familial collective? Yee. Do you carry that toxicity into your adult relationships? I'm interested to know. 1-800-920-1580. The moment someone begins healing, though, gosh, the role that family expected you to play, you want to leave it? You want to leave your people? You got a lot to learn about family, son. The moment someone begins healing, that forgotten distinction returns. Boundaries appear where obligations once lived. Self-respect emerges where self-sacrifice once received applause. Authenticity begins replacing adaptation. From the perspective of the self, this movement represents growth. From the perspective of protective parts organized around stability, it can feel like catastrophe. Oh my God, Michael leaving. Everybody, I want to let you know, tonight is the final night that the Jacksons and I will be performing together. Y'all saw the last scene in the Michael movie. Hopefully I'm not giving out any spoilers. This tension frequently enters intimate relationships. Two adults believe they are negotiating present circumstances while ancestral burdens quietly participate in every disagreement. Unresolved fears inherited across multiple generations continue seeking resolution through modern relationships. Healthy collectivism permits connection without psychological captivity. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever experienced a relationship with somebody that you knew, hey, I gotta keep this relationship secret from my family. My people can't know this person. I can't bring this person around my folk. I love this person. I adore this person, but I cannot bring them around my people. I know how my people are. I know how my people get down. Toxic collectivism within the family? And, okay, your healing is a perceived threat, right? To all of the various protective parts within the family. So now the question becomes, how do you present not only your own healing, but how do you present, hey, since we're a collective, why don't you guys go heal too? Can you imagine Mike telling Jermaine, hey, bruh, let's go to therapy together? I don't know if Jermaine would have took that. I don't know. Maybe he would have. Gosh. How do you heal the family? That's a tough one. I'm ready for callers. When you guys get ready, I want y'all to call me. Listen, you're listening to the VOR live on KBLA Talk 1580. The number to dial, you already know, this is a non-judgmental space. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be there on Friday. I just talked to Tavis. Tavis says, oh, you coming? I said, yeah, I'm going to be there. They done got me a T-shirt and everything, man. I got to show up. So I'll be there on Friday. KBLA Talk 1580 is turning 5, and we're celebrating it with you. Join all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts this Friday, June 19th, for our anniversary bash and Juneteenth celebration at the Beehive from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There will be food, drink, a DJ, dancing, games, and more. Plus, LA Mayor Karen Bass, the one and only Lunel, the Grammy Award-winning Kenny Lattimore, and a few other surprises. The Beehive is the place to be this Juneteenth, and our community celebration is free. But you got to register at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. And we're encouraging folks to ride share. All right, hear that? We're encouraging folks to ride share. But however you arrive, just get there. We look forward to celebrating our 5th anniversary with you this Friday. Listen, when we come forward, I'm opening up the phone lines. Let's get this conversation started. 1-800-920-1580.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage career track jobs. The LA Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. And they are advocating for a fair deal for black workers in the new Los Angeles City Charter. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing, or learn about union apprenticeship programs and trade registries, please visit lablackworkercenter.org. That's lablackworkercenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis and build a more equitable Los Angeles. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's celebrate.
Y'all did it!
Loving each other, needing each other.
Hey, Los Angeles. KBLA Talk 1580 is turning 5, and we're celebrating in a big way.
Oh my God!
Join us Friday, June 19th, Juneteenth, 4 to 7 p.m. at the Beehive for our 5th anniversary bash and Juneteenth celebration. We're talking surprise celebrity guests, a special presentation, and a major announcement you will not want to miss.
I can't wait to hear it.
Plus, live music, dancing, games, and enough food and drink to keep the party going.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Of course, you're welcome to bring your own picnic basket, blanket, and lawn chair. And the best part, it's completely free. But here's the thing. You've got to sign up in advance. Space is limited, so don't wait. Head to KBLA1580.com right now and lock in your spot. Friday, June 19th, The Beehive, KBLA Talk 1580. 5 years strong, and we're just getting started.
Happy anniversary, KBLA! Yeah, man!
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I don't know what's gonna happen to you, baby, but I do know that I love you. You walk around this town with your head all up in the sky, and I do know that I want you. Let's dance, let's shout, shake your body down to the ground. Let's dance, let's shout, shake your body down to the ground. Let's dance, let's shout, shake your body down to the ground. Let's dance, let's shout, shake your body down to the ground. You tease me with your loving, doubly hard to get, 'cause you do know that I want you. You walk around this town with your head on up in the sky, and you do know that.
We tend to put up with things from our relatives that we would never put up with anyone else. And we tend to endure a lot longer and a lot more. But eventually there comes a point, oftentimes in a relationship with friends, but oftentimes with family, where we're asking the question, is this the time to walk away? Right? Are we done now? Is this where we go our separate ways?
Who was that, Andy? That was Mark Driscoll. Why is it that walking away is always the best solution? God, when do we walk away from our mother? Why don't we just accept our mother as she is? When do we, I gotta walk away from my father. He's just not showing up the way I need him to. Maybe need is the problem. Maybe you clinging to needing for him to be something that he's not. I'm just saying. I mean, for intimate relationships, for family relationships, it's always the same. I'm asking you to critically think about our conflict resolution. And I get it. Some people need to be walked away from. I get it. But if that is your first resort, why is that your first resort? I'm really thinking about walking away from my mom. And then those very same people, if something go bad with mom or dad or a family member, then now they're burdened with guilt because they didn't do what they wanted to do, which is work it out. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying you got to stay in a toxic situation. Toxic is toxic, whether it's family or a friend or your forever love. I get it. But we got to stop letting the disconnect and the cutoff and the breakup be our go-to conflict resolution tool. Because not all situations deserve the finality of that. And then oftentimes it's not even final. How many times you don't... I don't even want to get into that. Most people assume families exist to teach us love. That assumption deserves closer examination. What if some families teach us something entirely different? What if they teach loyalty before truth. Does your family teach that? Regardless if I'm right or wrong, it's loyalty before the truth. You got to be loyal to this family. Damn what the truth is. Were you raised in an environment like that? 1-800-920-1580. Obligation before authenticity. You are obligated to this family. You are obligated to rock with your people. We raised you. We protected you. We incubated you. So I get it. You want to be your authentic self. You want to branch out and do what you want to do. But you belong to us. Were you raised in a family like that? Family preservation before personal growth. We all growing together. You don't grow by yourself. Yikes. 1-800-920-1580. Many people spend years attempting to understand why the same conflict keeps appearing in their intimate relationships. They blame communication, attachment styles, compatibility, love languages, emotional intelligence. Yet, the source of the conflict often lives much deeper than the relationship itself. It lives inside the family system. How come we don't want to call that out? You thought your father was perfect because he was behind the pulpit? You thought your mother was perfect because she was an educator? Or was it reversed? Maybe your mother was behind the pulpit and your father was an educator. Like, oftentimes we get so caught up that we see our parents, they protected us, they loved us. We love every nuance of who they are, even when it's toxic. And we never call them out on it. Well, and when I say call them out, I mean respectfully, of course. Do you understand? You guys hear me talk about this a lot. At some point, you have to break up with your parents. The way they modeled you, the way they molded you, or the way you molded around their beliefs and ideas. That was one of the things I told my son, my oldest son, when he went off to college. I said, man, go out into the world and see if what I told you was true. I want you to go out there and try to disprove it. Anything that's true, come back and let me know. Anything that wasn't true, come back and let me know. It's about to get interesting. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to go to the phone lines. I want to hear from the folks on this.
It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. New York City is celebrating the Knicks NBA championship with a ticker-tape parade Thursday morning in Lower Manhattan. Coach Mike Brown says he's grateful to the fans.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being there, for sticking with us.
At the parade, Mayor Mamdani will also present the team with keys to the city. Tyra Banks has filed a defamation lawsuit against Netflix over its documentary Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model. Banks says she participated in the documentary but alleges her comments were taken out of context and edited to support what she calls a false and defamatory narrative. And after ICE activity near a Baltimore, Maryland school last week, Black Mayor Brandon Scott says the city will keep doing everything it can to protect immigrant neighbors. Scott says Baltimore stands with families impacted by detentions and is reminding residents that supporting is available through the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Discover everything great about California in Malibu. From stunning beaches and restaurants to exquisite wineries, unique shopping, hiking, and horseback riding. There's fun for everyone. PCH is open. Take the 101 to Canaan Road and find your paradise waiting.
Sponsored by Recreation Alliance.
As we go a little something like this.
Talkers Magazine has spoken. Out of every talk radio host in America, Tavis Smiley ranks number 14 on the Heavy 100 list. One of the top 15 most important voices in the nation, right here on KBLA Talk 1580. Unapologetically progressive, unapologetically powerful. Tune in weekdays on the 9s, 9 a.m. to noon or 9 p.m. to midnight. This is your station. This is your voice.
Let's get it on.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like nuclear reactor safety expert.
I disabled the backup cooling system. It was making such an annoying noise. You heard it, right? It was like,
We're on the countdown to core failure.
And you're saying we don't want that?
This is your job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. We continue our look at what is happening and what is not happening along the Destination Crenshaw corridor. Last time we talked about the promises made to this community. Today we talk about the reality on the ground, and it is not pretty. Let's start with something as basic as a visit to the vet. Customers of the local veterinary clinic right next door to this studio are forced to park blocks away and carry their sick and injured animals through conditions that no pet owner or sick animal should have to endure. Why? Because the construction has blocked access to the vet's parking lot for years now. The vet is losing clients, the vet is losing revenue, and frankly, who can blame these customers for not coming back? This is but one example of a small black-owned business being quietly strangled, and nobody at City Hall seems to notice or care. And the conditions along this corridor, they are not just an eyesore, they are a health hazard. Unsanitary conditions and repeated health code violations are doing exactly what you would expect, inviting vermin into our neighborhood. Rodents, pests, the kind of infestation that does not stay in one place. It spreads into homes, into restaurants, into our daily lives for years now. Then there is this. The houseless are finding refuge in the construction cubbyholes and unfinished spaces left wide open along this project. These are precious human beings, to be sure, in desperate situations. But this is also a safety and liability crisis that the city created and has yet to address for years now. In our prior editorial, trying to save some space for grace, we did not call his name. But after a full week of running the editorial hourly, highlighting the myriad delays, business losses, health violations, safety concerns, and more, we have heard absolutely nothing from City Council President Marquise Harris Dawson. Nothing. Not a word. The council member who represents this district has gone silent. You see why we call this project Procrastination, Crenshaw? And so I repeat, Crenshaw deserves better. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh no, no. I remember when you said I was the only one that you would give your love to. Your love was so strong. Baby, I admit I was wrong. Can we try to start it over? Or has your love run out for me? Tell me that you love me, girl. Baby, please, have pity on me, baby. Yeah. Pop, 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 goes my mind. My mind. Every time I think of all the times I did you wrong. Pop, 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 goes my mind.
Up until age 4, the most important thing a child needs is unconditional love. You're loved no matter what, you're loved no matter what. You would think that would go till 18. Now, of course, it's important, but you know what's really interesting? After 4, they don't measure that as the most important thing anymore. They found that the most important thing is just meaning and purpose. The parent has never articulated to them, why are you here? Besides just the whatever identity things. And we tell our kids all the time, you are here because we are a family team and we had a gap in our team that God decided to fill, and we could not go do our mission if you weren't on this team. Would the Warriors be the Warriors without Steph Curry? No. Would they be the Warriors without Draymond Green? No. So team roles, super important, integrated for one collective mission. I think there would be a lot more blessing and goodness and love and beauty in the world if more families kind of left the consumer mindset and kind of the safety as the most important thing to actually, hey, we have a purpose together that we can only do together, not individually, and we need to...
Whoever that was. Beardy Brandon. Ideally, sure. But if you're toxic, you can't be collective. Do you understand? So, we live in an individualistic society. That's America, that's Europe. You know, the Western cultures are typically individualistic. The Asian, the African, the indigenous are typically collectivistic. Okay? They have their pros and cons. The reality of it is you should be a hybrid of the two. The collective group should cultivate the individualism, right? Especially if one kid is emerging and evolving into something. Everybody should pour into that and help that kid realize their own personal authenticity. But to say, wait a minute, your authenticity is now a threat to the collective, to me, that's toxic. See, yes, we're family, but family is not a get out of jail coupon to be toxic, disrespectful. I mean, think about it. Joe told Mike, man, look at that big old nose. As if he didn't contribute some genes to the original nose. Hey, big nose. Yo nose. I'm the kid it's yo nose. You call me big nose, I can say it's yo nose. Daddy would have beat me up. I would have got beat by... Joe would have put hands on me early. I'm just saying, though. But do you understand? People are pressing for this collectivist piece, but the collectivist piece only works when it's healthy. And the same can be said for the individualistic piece. But I am an advocate for a hybrid of both. You rally around the children. You pour into the children. And as they begin to evolve into themselves, who they are, the whole authoritarian, you see, when they're young and helpless and dependent, you're the authority. But as they grow and evolve and become the person they're supposed to be, you become more of an advisor, a counselor, a mentor. Now, I'm your mama. I ain't your mentor. I'm your Wait, hey, hold on. I'm your father now. You understands me? You listen to what I said. I didn't tell you to think, now did I? Nah, as they get older and get closer to adulthood, you are transitioning from this authoritative, parent figure, and you're turning into this more guru, sensei, guide. Do you understand? Like, yo, you're going to have to learn. See, good parents understand sometimes experience is a better teacher than mama and daddy. Yeah, so you know those parents who try to jump in and block the lesson before it comes because they trying to protect. There are some lessons you have to allow that child to understand, to engage in. Now, I'm not saying this is the gang fight. I ain't going down there. Let him handle the gang fight on his own. No, I don't mean that. I'm just saying there are times, like in an academic situation, well, you got to fail. You got to do that class again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you want me to come save you, but I need you to save yourself because that's part of being an adult. Good parenting learns and knows how to mentor from afar. Here, get over there and do it. I can't come save you. This is academic quicksand. I left you a stick and I left you a branch to grab onto. Utilize it and pull yourself up out of this. If you pull them up out of it, they didn't learn anything for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not a big advocate of collectivism for collectivism's sake. No, absolutely not. It has to be healed people doing that. We got callers on the line. I want to get them in here. We got Vet from Carson, California. C. Arson. What up, Vet? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
A few things, but first I want to say you had me laughing at Joe. Well, Michael having Joe's nose. It's like, no, it's not my big nose, it's your nose. I actually met Joe Jackson at the Conrad Murray trial. And yeah, like even in his old age, like I don't know if it was just because of like everything that has been said about him had gotten to me, but like I could feel like his graveness, and like he had a permanent, like deep V kind of scowl, like right in between his eyebrows, like
what?
You know that? Yeah. He looked mean even when he wasn't trying. So yeah. But anyway, so many thoughts about today's topic because like it really just resonates with me. I fit right into all of it. And first of all, I did have to cut someone out of my life. I call her my parents' other daughter, not my sister.
Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah, well, I mean, she earned that title. She hasn't earned the title sister. And long story short, like, we're only about, like, 19 months apart. We both went through, and if I start crying, I just start crying, it's fine. But we both went through a lot of trauma. She was about a year and a half when our father died, and I had yet to be born. I was born like 13 days later, and then we lost our mother right a month after I turned 6, and the other daughter was like about 7.5. And, you know, so we saw trauma very early in our lives. I was told that my mother held me very close. And, you know, it's to be understood as far as like me being the last link to my dad, physical link to my dad, and being born like after he passed. I have his name in the feminine form. And so, you know, the other daughter saw my mother hold me close when she was just a baby herself. So in my adult age, I can understand a little bit of it, but I mean, the negative behavior that I got from the other daughter, but, you know, I'll say this. What I've experienced from the other daughter is physical and mental abuse. I was spat on for refusing to take a drug test for her because she was addicted to marijuana at a time where marijuana was...
Wait, Vet, hold on, Vet. What in the world? You done been through it. Vet, stay right there, Vet. Don't you go nowhere, Vet. You stay right there. C. Arson is in the building. She has given us a real live account of what she's experienced. And I have nothing but love and appreciation for her for doing that. If you want to bring your city in the building, call us at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going back to the legendary city of Carson in California. Let's get it.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Gas prices got you down. LADWP customers get a rebate of up to $4,000 when you buy a used electric or plug-in hybrid vehicle. Installing an EV charger at your home? Get a rebate for that too, up to $1,500. Visit ladwp.com/EV today and start saving. That's ladwp.com/EV. Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way. Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
When it feels like the world is on your shoulders and all of the madness has got you going crazy, it's time to get out, step out into the street where all of the action is right there at your feet. Well, I know a place where we can dance the whole night away underneath the electric stars. Just come with me and we can shake your blues right away. You'll be doing fine once the music starts. Oh, feel the beat of the rhythm of the night. Dance until the morning light. Forget about the words on your mind. You can leave them all behind. Feel the beat of the rhythm of the night. Oh, the rhythm of the night.
When you come out of complex trauma, you develop ways of relating to survive. And those kept you safe, the ways you learn to relate. But what you find is as you get older, they don't work so well anymore. But it's important to go back and really understand your relationship style and why you relate the way you relate. When we talk about complex trauma, one of the terms that I use regularly is a dysfunctional family. And I have had many, hundreds of people say to me, everybody's got a dysfunctional family. We all are dysfunctional. And what goes on in their mind is this distinction that goes, the only other option to dysfunction is perfect. So nobody's got a perfect family, so we're all dysfunctional. And that seems to make sense, but it really misses an important piece. And that is dysfunctional. The opposite isn't perfect. The opposite is functional. But what does that mean? So the word dys for dysfunctional actually means in pain. And so what we mean when we say a dysfunctional family, it's a family that's in pain and a family that can't resolve pain. Ooh. So let me broaden that for you. All families go through pain. All families have hard times. All families have bad things that happen. A functional family is able to deal with those things, resolve it, and come out the better for it. So there are functional families. So to be a functional family doesn't mean you never go through hard times. All families do. What makes it a dysfunctional family is it can't resolve that pain. And so the members of the family live in unresolved pain, which leads to the piling up of pain. And that is the reality of a dysfunctional family. And so what we're going to...
Hey, who was that, Andy? Tim Fletcher. He was letting off. He was cooking. Got to give him his. Some people have tools, have access to tools, and don't want to use the tools. Some people don't know where to start to go get the tools. Right? He said dysfunctional versus functional. The functional is we coexist with pain over here. And we okay. Pain is a visitor. And we have the tools to deal with pain, and we walk through pain, and we walk with pain. It's just par for the course. Dysfunctional is either I don't have the tools, I don't know where to look for the tools, I don't know where to get the tools, or I have access to the tools and I'm going to ignore the tools as if they don't exist. You know what kind of family you come from now. Toxic collectivism within the family. I got a caller on the line. Let's get her back in here. Vet from Carson. Hello?
Yep.
Vet? Yeah. Now, did Tim Fletcher hit on a few things with his breakdown that is reminiscent of what you've been through?
I was listening, but not too hard. But Tim Fletcher doesn't decide like what I do with my life or how I relate to the relatives. Mm-hmm. I decide that, and I have had like so many people like, because I wasn't even calling in for like advice.
You
I was
calling in to share? Yes, come on. Share
just
with me.
to share. Yeah. I have been through a lot, and I am long suffering, and myself and the other daughter are like ebony and ivory, in a lot of ways, and so with me, I had to stand up for myself and say that, I am better than the way that I have been treated. And it wasn't like I just put up with the abuse. I mean, there have been times, once where the police was called. I called the police, but by the time they got there, she was the one who benefited from them being there, and I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, just like years and years of abuse, and I think a lot of it had to do with the way that like she chose to deal with her pain through, smoking, starting, to use drugs, smoking or whatever as a teenager, and, using me as a punching bag. I mean, even one time she was messing with me, and I was like, leave me alone. And she's like, not until you cry. Because
Wait, What?
Hateful.
Wait, stay right there. Don't go anywhere. I got to come back because I have some questions for you. Now, I'm leaving some space for you to talk, but I got some questions for you. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Yvette, that's Vet from Carson, California. When we come forward, this topic is heavy, man. This topic is deep. We got a lot of people on the line. We want to talk to them. We're going to talk to them on the other side.
Piano, keyboard, oh Lord, why don't we? We all know that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and bad in everyone. And we learn to live, we learn to give each other what we need to survive.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. New York City is celebrating the Knicks NBA championship with a ticker-tape parade Thursday morning in Lower Manhattan. Coach Mike Brown says he's grateful to the fans.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being there, for sticking with us.
At the parade, Mayor Mamdani will also present the team with keys to the city. Tyra Banks has filed a defamation